It's Black History Month. Last week we weren't here because I had the flu, and so did everyone else. We're back and we're happy to be here. Thank you for joining us. It's Black History Month, and so because of that, we are honoring Rosa Parks. It may seem like when she sat on the bus, it was a simple thing by raising the standard to stand to make sure that everyone was equal and sitting in an era where colors weren't allowed. And when we brought this young lady to studio, it reminded me of Rosa Parks' story because what she did changed the world, changed the way how people saw us from then. And this is what this lady has done. Sylvia Lloyd, welcome to Chatting with the Stars.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Good
And
night.
thank you. And we have Mom as well, La Silva.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much for coming. Stars are not necessarily what people call Hollywood and the hype. We see stars every day and we pass them by because they don't have a big Benz, or they don't have the notoriety and the degrees behind their names and Dr. So and so. But when we meet stars who have stories and they're so humble with it, we need to cast some light on it, and that's why we chose you, Sylvia, to be our star this week.
Oh, I feel so honored to be here.
Sylvia is also going to be starting her venture in modeling, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes.
Yes.
But before Sylvia, millionaire at 21. I'm telling you, I've heard the story. So many writers have approached you to
Right.
tell your story.
Right.
Because at the age of 21, this young lady bought her condo cash, coming from Jamaica, and decided that I'm going to start at the bottom and shatter the glass ceiling. Many people wish to have this story and don't. Let us start with, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Flagaman. This is a place in St. Elizabeth, Treasure Beach, and they call it Flagaman. So I'm coming from far. It's way country. I grew up a country life. My mom and dad is a farmer, and that's where I grew up. And when I think about it, how far it is, and people said, "Where are you from in Jamaica?" And I said, "I'm from St. Elizabeth, Treasure Beach, Flagaman." And then they would say, where is that?
Because it's the first I've known a place called Flagaman, and I live in Jamaica.
Yes, that's what it calls.
So it's time to shed some light on Flagaman, place that we've never heard about.
Yes, Flagaman, everyone.
Describe
Shout
it.
out.
What is it like in Flagaman?
It's a real nice country life, and it's where, people do farming, like agriculture, watermelon and scallion and onions and thyme and beetroot.
So you used to do that too? You used to farm?
Yes, my mom can tell you a story about it. I have a aunt, my mom, cousin, but I call her my aunt. She's a millionaire in Flagaman. Big up Auntie Maisie. And I always wanted to be like her because she always was a go-getter, always work hard. And my mom have land, so I used to farm. I started farming when I was age 5. And my uncle had this man that used to come and buy his stuff, and he bought all my stuff. I had scallions, and he bought all my scallions, and then I always said I wanted to be like Auntie Maisie because she always had a lot of money. So I was always intrigued by her, so that's how that started.
Mom, anything significant about Sylvia's birth that you knew she was going to be special?
Yeah, as far age, at Sylvia, age at 5 was working on the farm, and she said one day to me, she said, "Mom, I would like to go to..."
Look at the camera. Yes, go ahead. Said you would like to go to where?
She said, "I'd like to go to America." And I said to her, so one day she said, "All right, Mom, I would like to go to America." So I said, "Well, then you have to look about your passport." So she went and looked about her passport. She went in Spanish Town.
By herself?
Yes, by herself.
Yes.
What age was this?
This is another story. My aunt passed and gone. May God bless her soul. When I was like 10 years old, my mom gave her my birth certificate to bring to Spanish Town. And my aunt, she come to the country and she sell clothes and stuff. And my aunt was taking a long time to get back with it, and I really wanted, my dream was to always come to the United States.
With that, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Wait, honey, you know cook?
Cook, why me for cook?
Because I come from work, I'm hungry. I want something to eat.
So then every day you know eat food when me buy over at Caribbean American restaurant.
Which restaurant that?
Spices Caribbean American restaurant, a brand new restaurant we open at 3990 Southwest 48th Avenue.
You mean the one on Counterland Road and Southwest 40th Avenue across from the car wash?
Same one. Which part you think you get food from every day?
But honey, you trick me. Me think you could have cooked. Just never eat every single day because that's all that sweet food come from.
Spices Caribbean American Cuisine and Lounge. Opening hours Monday to Friday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays 9 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Featuring our special daily lunch specials 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sunday buffet breakfast 9 to 11:30 a.m. and Sunday brunch 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Located at 3990 Southwest 40th Avenue, Hollywood, Florida 33023. Number to call 954-961-9752, 954-348-4197, 786-263-8870. Isis Caribbean American Restaurant, the place where satisfaction is guaranteed.
Before the break, we were speaking with Sylvia Lloyd, as I said, millionaire at 21 by working hard. You can do it. And she talked about the American dream, going to Kingston at 10 years old by herself. Tell us about that.
Yes, so as I was saying, I went to Spanish Town, and when I went to Spanish Town, everyone was busy. My aunt was busy, and her children were busy. So my cousin, he took me to the birth certificate place, and when he took me there, he said to me he had to go to work and I had to join the line. I was 10 years old, and
He left you there.
yeah, he left me there. So I said, oh my God, I've never been to Kingston before, all these people. And I was 10 years old. I was kind of scared, but I know what I was there for. So he said to me, do you know how to get back home? I said, yes, I do. Once I cross the street, my aunt's house is going to be the second house before I reach the train track. And as a little girl at 10 years old, I stayed there and for a couple of hours until they said, okay, they'll send the birth paper in the mail. And I cross the street and I walk home. And while I'm walking, I'm seeing people in wheelchair. I'm seeing people crossing the road. All this traffic. I'm a little country girl. I was like, I don't know what's going on here, but it was different. But I was brave, and I keep walking on the right side, and I reached the train track, and it was the second house of the train track, and I was there. And that was my first step of coming to the U.S.
You were everyone in your family, La Silva, you took them and they were turned down.
Yes.
So that discouraged you from taking Sylvia.
Yes.
What was your response, Sylvia, when your mom said, no, we're not going to go?
Well, there was children in my neighborhood at age 10 and 11, and so around my age group at the time that went to the embassy, and they also did not receive their visa. So one day my mom came to me and she said to me, Sylvia, I don't think we're going to go ahead and go to the embassy anymore. And I said to her, why? And she said to me, why waste the money? Because they're not giving away any visa. And there have been 6 children at the time that was refused the visa. And I said to her, no, she said, she's not going to take me. And I begged her and I said, please, mommy, please take me. And she said, well, I don't have the money to throw away like that. And I said, please, Puss and Dog don't have the same luck. I know I'm going to get it. And then she finally said, okay, you seem to believe it in our life.
And you had gotten a dream about that too.
Yeah, for some reason, I think I see vision. I can see things. I always dream things. I dream of seeing my grandmother, which I never know, and I explained to my mom exactly how she was. But when I was about 8 years old, I dreamed of coming to the U.S. in a big plane, and I was going up the staircase. And when I was going up the staircase, I was crying because I looked back and it was like all my family was there, and I was leaving them behind. So I was crying when I was going in the plane.
Did you get the visa?
Yes, I finally did. I'm here, right?
No, when you went to the embassy, you stood there. You spoke to the man by yourself.
When I went to the embassy, the lady was she when I went up to the counter, my number was called, and the lady said, to me, what's your name? And I said Sylvia. She was speaking to my mom at first, and then she said to my mom, is it okay if I speak to her? She seemed to be a smart girl. And my mom said, yeah, she could speak for herself. And she asked me a few questions like, why would you like to go to the US? And I said, to go shopping. She said, like, shopping for what? I said, like, to buy school clothes and shoes and pretty things and come back. She said, how long are you going to stay? I said, about 2 weeks. And she said, who are you going to travel with? I said, me and my mom were going to travel together. And that was about it. She said, congratulations, you got your visa. And I was dearly excited.
No, you're a very smart girl. This is a very smart girl. That is why she's a millionaire. You told your mom because you wanted to see who your friends were.
Yes.
What did you tell her?
When we were leaving and I was so excited I got the visa, I know that a lot of people didn't believe in me and didn't think that I was going to get it, and they also thought my mom were wasting her money at taking me at that time because there were so much people in my area that didn't get it. So I said to her, Mommy, please, don't tell anybody that that I got the visa. Let's just tell them I didn't get it. So to see who my friends really are, and that's how I knew. So my mom said, okay. So when I got home, I said to them, a lot of people, in the country, when you go look a visa, you come back, everybody want to know if you get it. So there was a lot of people at my house. So they said, did you get the visa? And I said, no, I didn't get the visa. A lot of people said, oh, Manu, so you never get it. And there was only one person, and the guy named Cover, and he lived in Flaggerman, Roxville. And he said to me, he said, no, nobody can tell me, Sylvia don't get the visa. She get the visa. And my father was disappointed. And even one of my own brother looked at me and said to me, I know she wasn't going to get it. That's why I didn't want it to go, because we were supposed to go together. Yes.
So he missed his opportunity.
So he missed a big opportunity, and look at me now. I didn't even tell anybody at the time. My mom started crying and hysterical. I said, Sylvia, get the visa. She get the visa. She was so excited. And then my father was a little disappointed. And then when he thought I didn't get it, and that's when everybody got, who was happy, and who wasn't happy, who cares?
Who cares?
Yes.
Now, Sylvia, you got to the U.S. at what age?
When I got here, I was about 12. Got here about 12. I leave my parents, my everyone behind.
By yourself?
I came by myself.
Just as a vision?
Just as I visioned in my dream.
And what was that like for you? A lot of tears, you said. A lot of tears.
It wasn't easy being away from your mother and father. Like, you have family here that, that would help you out along the way. And sometimes they're not your parents, so you're not going to get that homely treatment, or some of them will treat you good and some of them won't treat you good. It's not what it's all about.
It's not what it's made out to be.
Yeah, it's made out to be like.
And so many people have this notion in Jamaica that America is all a bed of roses.
No, it's not. America is, two things I realize about America. It can either make you or break you. You have to choose the way that you want to go. If you want, you have to be strong to overcome a lot of things and learn from them, and then that makes you a stronger person along the way.
So, homeless at what age?
It's a long story. I had a cousin. I was living with my cousin, and she threw me out. I went to live with one of my friends. I was 15 years old at the time, and when I went and lived with her, it was only for a weekend, because the real person that my mom originally sent me to was Joyce, which is my mom cousin. I call her my aunt also. And she came and she picked me up from where I was at my friend Stephanie's house. And she took me, but I was thrown out by one of my cousins when I was living with her for a couple of years, and then she asked me to leave, and I went and lived with a friend for like a couple of days, basically. But I was 15 at the time.
And then from there, another gap again to find somewhere.
And then one of my mom cousin come and pick me up from where I was staying at stranger's house. I was one of my girlfriend. I stayed with her, and I went and stayed with my aunt until I was age 18, and I got married.
Yeah, so you did all of that on your own. Got married.
Yes.
Did you have a job during this time with school?
No, I was working. I was working from age 15. I was working on the weekends, and my aunt would pick me up from work and drop me to school on Monday morning. And on Friday, when everybody would be at the movies and everything, I was working. I buy my own prom dress, my own graduation clothes, and everything like that. And all my friends, all my money was going to clothes because my friend, they had their parents here. I didn't have my parents, so whatever I had on my back, I had to work for it.
And send back home to your parents, to your mom as well?
Yeah, when I would work on the weekends, I was 15 years old. I was always sending money to my mom. And how many years later, I'm still taking care of my mom.
But how did that feel? How did that feel to know that
it feel good because it feel good. I didn't look at what that I was sending back home. I was just looking at the fact that I was happy to give my mom whatever I can. If it was $20, she would appreciate it. She's always appreciated everything that I've done for her. So I was doing it from a good place.
So many people come to America, because you did this without having without having your papers.
Right.
You did this, and many people give up. Many people choose to do it the legal way. You chose to do it the legal way.
Right.
It was harder. It's a lot of work. You did what? Home health aid?
Yeah, I did home health aid.
Many people don't want to do that because it's not an easy job.
Right, it's not.
It's not. And at your age, 15, instead of going to parties, you were doing this. Everybody
Exactly.
having a good time, you are working.
Yes.
You had a fear that your greatest fear is if anything should happen to your mom, you would
Yeah,
not.
that was scary because I was here for a long time before I could see my family, the rest of my family, and I knew that, well, by being in the U.S., like once you overstay your time, you become illegal and so forth. But when I'm married, I had to get married because that was a fear that in case my parents passed away, my mom ever died, or my sister, anything ever happened to my family, I don't know how it would be for me to be here and know that I wouldn't be able to go back to Jamaica. So that was something that I had to think about from I was at 12, and I realized that I'm stuck, like there's no other way out. And but I got married, and I married for love. I was with my boyfriend since age 14, and we got married when I turned 18. I got married. I didn't tell anybody. I went to my high school prom with my husband. He was in the military at the time.
And nobody knew.
Nobody knew. I got married. I got married on right the day before my high school prom. Wow. So I went to school, and when we were dancing at the prom, I remember saying to him, "Oh my God, we're married." And it was like nobody really knew about it, so it was like
so you could genuinely kiss.
Yes, I was genuinely kissing him like, this is my wedding dance I'm doing. Yes.
No teachers pulled you guys apart?
No, but they never see me like that before, but I kind of hold him. It was like a hold of, like, just take a breath and like a sense of freedom, I can say.
What happened to that relationship? Are you still married today?
No, I'm no longer married. We were together. My husband was in the military, and we were together. And when he came out of the military, we went and lived with his mom until we eventually got our own apartment. And when he came out of the military, as everyone knows, going in the military is not an easy place. And with all the war and everything that's going on now, my sympathy go out to all the families out there, because
But you are a military wife.
I was a military wife, and when my husband came out of the military, he was not the person that I knew when I was in high school. He completely changed.
What were some of the changes you went through?
Well, some of the changes were jealousy, anger.
We're going to stop there. We have a break. We'll return to talk about that some more.
Grace United Learning Center, a ministry of Grace United Community Church. The Learning Center is a privately owned organization providing exceptional child care and educational services to infants and preschool-age children. The center also provides after-school care for children up to age 10. The Learning Center utilizes a combination of structured curriculum instruction, teacher-directed activities, and child-initiated play to promote the physical, social, emotional, and intellectual development of each child. Come experience an environment of exploration, discovery, and exciting challenges. Grace United Learning Center, achieving excellence together. We are located at 911 Northwest 183rd Street, Miami Gardens, Florida. Our hours of operation, 6:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. Monday through Fridays. We can be contacted at 305-651-1947 or on the web at www.graceunitedlearning.com.
We are talking with Sylvia Lloyd at finding herself at the age of 18, a military wife, and we'll continue from there. What is it like being a military wife? You know, we don't want to talk about it because we want to get to your millionaire story, but what was it like?
It was not easy being a military wife, because once the man or the woman, they go away in the military and they came back, they have experienced a lot of things that normal people really don't get to see. They have experienced so many bad things over there, seeing people die and everything. It affects them in a lot of ways that a lot of people really don't get to see. I've experienced it firsthand on, like, with my husband when he came out of the military. He was very angry. He felt like somebody was going to kill him all the time. He didn't want anybody to look at me, and it become like I was I was in the military too at that point. Like, now it's like I'm on the battlefield, like I'm battling for my life, because his sense of fear and so forth is like him having guns. It leave from 1 to 2, 3 guns we're sleeping with in the bed, and it was very uncomfortable for me. And it was only to get away from the situation, I basically had to run away from home, and that's when I run away. I pack a bag, and my husband was at work, and I had to leave, and I had to get myself out of that situation because I didn't see any other way out.
Now, your mom and you have a similar story. That's why I believe that there's a thing called generational curses, because just like how you had to run from your husband, you also had to run for your life also from your husband. You walked away from what?
Everything. I walked away from everything.
Being homeless at what age?
Well, at 50.
50. Mm-hmm. And you think that woman, I'm going to stay in this abusive relationship because I am 50. No. I have nowhere to go. But you use faith.
Yes.
I want to show you we tie the two stories, because it is Sylvia's hard work that paved the way for her mom, and now her mom can pave the way for their family. Sylvia, at what age? At by 21. No, you work 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And by 21, how much money you found yourself with?
At age 21, I was actually about 20. I find myself with $89,000 because I was working.
And this is U.S. dollars.
89,000 U.S. dollars, not Jamaican.
Okay.
And you know, one day my mom called me up, and I was working at the time. When I left my husband, this is to get to that part. I left my husband. I went. A cousin of mine got me a living job where I lived with the person. I had somewhere to live, and also I was making about a good $1,000 a week at the time.
So living job means the person, for those who don't know what a living job, if you're watching overseas, it means that the person, the aide, moves in and lives with the person, takes care of them. So you pretty much get to save your money.
Yes. I wasn't paying for room and board. I wasn't paying for anything. I was just there saving my money. When I first got the job, I was making $700 a week, but I was working 24 hours, 7 days a week. Yes, and I saved my money. I did it for like literally 3 years, and one day my mom called me up and she was hysterically crying, and she was telling me the story with my dad and her got into a fight, and she was basically needed somewhere to go, and she said to me that she was going to call a cousin of hers, and if me and my cousin can help her to sort out a 1-bedroom apartment.
This was supposed to be a 1-bedroom and bath.
Yes, it's a 1-bedroom and bath at the time. So I said to my mom, I said, so what you gonna do in the meanwhile? So she said to me, I'll just rent a place or something. So I said to her, I can make arrangements for you to come and stay on my job with me. And then I speak to the lady's daughter, and she said, okay, this is when we start making the $1,000 a week. So she started giving me an extra $300 a week for my mom being there with me. And my mom would also help me with the patient because she come to the point where...
So your mom and you working together.
Yes, she used to call us the mother and daughter team. And I fly my mom here, and when my mom was here, at the time, I already had married and got my papers, and because my husband was in the military, I got my green card in 3 months. Wow. I got my green card. So I fly to Jamaica, open up a bank account, and with me and my sister's name, and I started billing out the house. So the guy that was billing the house said to me, instead of, we build a 1-bedroom, you can just set out a foundation, and then you finish 1 room. So it left from the idea of my mom asking me for 1 room to we decided to do 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, living room, kitchen, and veranda area. And then I started that, and my mom was here for 4 months. And when she was for 4 months, she was able to fly back into her 1 room that was completely finished.
And we have seen this house, by the way. It is fabulous. It is beautiful. It looks as the house that you would see in West Palm. That's how beautiful it is. Now you're on to another project.
Yes. So when
but before we touch there, when you went to buy your condo, let's talk about you built. So you pretty much set the way for mom first. You didn't, even though you worked, and most people will be selfish and say, I'm the one working, I'm the one doing this. Let me take care of me first. She put herself aside and put mom first. Now you decide to do your time.
When I decided to build a house for my mom, it wasn't even a second. I didn't even think twice. I didn't have a car. I didn't even have nowhere to live. I was still living at the lady's house. Like I was literally. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a house. All I had was the money that I had. I decided to spend it on my mom. I figured, well, I'm 21. I'm still young. I can always make life for myself if my mom, have somewhere to live and a roof over her head. I feel like I can make, another way for myself like I did, that time. So after I got the house and my mom was fine, I decided I was going to buy a car. So I buy my first car cash.
What type of car was it?
It was a GMC Jimmy at the time. I paid $5,000 for it, and that was my first vehicle, and I just wanted something cash. And you would say,
most people say, okay, I have so much money in the bank. Let me go and buy a Benz and buy a this. Being smart, you said, no, I'm going to start small.
Right.
So you bought yourself a little GMC?
Yes, cash.
Yeah, cash, go ahead.
Didn't want any payments. And then I was renting a room from a friend, and I was paying $500 a month. And then I said, okay, I want to eventually go on and look for my place. And I had a boyfriend at the time, and we went around and we found this place. First it was rent to own, and then I figured, well, my credit is good. I have really good credit. And the man said to me, it's for sale. Would you like to buy it? And I said, fine. I went ahead and put up the money and ended up buying the condo. I was 21. So when we went to the closing, the man said to my boyfriend at the time, he said, when my son was 30 years old, I had to give him $10,000 to move out of my house. And she's 21 years old. He said, she can have everything that's in the apartment. And I paid $500 application fee when I was doing the application, $300 appraisal fee. And after the man said to me, I'm not supposed to tell anybody this. He said, after everything is over with, I'm going to come back and give you the money back, because I'm so impressed by you at your age. And he came to the house and he gave me back the money that I put up, whatever I put up on getting in the house.
What did the man say to you when he came to your boyfriend? What did he say to you?
He said to him, he said, I'm so impressed with her. Here is $100. You should take her out for dinner. And he was very much impressed with me.
You bought this house pretty much almost cash.
Yes, almost cash.
At what age?
I was 20. I was 21, and then
tell the area, because and many people don't know South Florida, but tell the area, and then we'll talk about the area. Where did you buy this home?
I bought it in Woodmont in Tamarack, Florida.
And this is a very nice area. You're talking about then, I mean, when the real estate market was really good, several years ago, the comps there, pretty much the homes are ranging from 225 to 375, because I have friends who live in the area too.
Right.
So in Woodmont, you bought this home. A black girl, this is also I don't want to say it. What is just the truth? Hey, a black girl in a white community is white.
Yes, when I moved there, I was the first white girl like black girl living in a white girl neighborhood. And this is when I really said, okay, I'm really in America. Like, people walking dogs, and they're waking up 5 o'clock in the morning, and you know, it was different. But I was looking for a safe place, and I really felt safe. And then that's when I wanted somewhere where I can go out and come in, and and I was living also with somebody, and I always said, okay, if this doesn't work out, at least if I'm alone, I'm safe. And that's what I was kind of thinking about too.
Were you working all this time, even though you bought this house? You were still working?
I've always working from age 13. I've been working. If I'm going back to Skellion, that's 5.
5.
And I'm still working. I still work 7 days a week till this day. 56 hours a week. I never get comfortable. I always want more. I always work hard and go back to where, like, sometimes people say, you still live the same place? I said, I own the place. I'm not gonna move.
and people see you partying. Come on,
yes.
People see you as a party girl. Okay, yes. So are you a party girl?
Well, I've come to the point in my life where I become a party girl. This is when I set myself. You see, people see me and they know me as Sexy Red in the partying scene. In 2008, when I got my house and everything, I decided that I wanted to have a party. It was just, for me, it was like a coming out celebration. I set my life already. I'm still young, and it's time to have fun. And I have my first party called Live Your Life. And then I started promoting this Sexy Red, and I started taking up this party scene. And that's a lot of my younger peers and the people that see me in the party, they always said Sexy Red, and they know me as that person, but they really don't know. Like I always said, you see a person, you really don't know them. And I party, but I still work hard, and I have my head on my shoulder, and I know where I'm going.
So you leave party and go to work?
I leave party and I go to work, straight to work.
How do you do it?
You know, like the partying thing, when I started partying in 2008, it was a new thing for me, because all my life I just been doing one thing after the next, just trying to get through life and trying to be where I'm at right now. And I feel like I work hard, and you know, I need to get out and have a drink on the weekends and be with friends and have a good time, and I feel like I can do that right now.
When we come back from the break, we're going to talk with Mom as to how she feels about her daughter. I know she's very proud, and we're going to talk about this some more when we come back from the break.
Boy, Rasta, we are tell you twin of twins that represent the real hard roots. We are tell you, Rasta. Yes, the foundation. The root of it is always the truth of it. And some people see education and don't know the use of it. Yeah, we are tell you get that something there. But you don't know real hard roots. Success coming like HIV. You have to live with it till you're dead. I tell you. Yeah, man, we make them know. Say, it's the real hard roots and the real hard truth. I say anybody when I like that, so sick.
I leave Uptown Studio One first. A reggae daddy, yes, in the place. And this is one of the original star. And you're watching RHR. Yeah, like I, number one. Yeah. I Leroy Epton Studio and for
Welcome back. I'm telling you a very interesting story and motivating, and I know whoever is watching must be motivated. It's a twofold story for the mom who started life at 50, walked away from everything, and the daughter who bared it all, the sacrifice, so that mom could live comfortably. Mom, how do you feel about Sylvia?
Well, I feel very warm and tender about Sylvia. And Sylvia brought my life every day. She brought my life that I could look upon her and say, sometime when I hug her up and I say, Sylvia, you know I love you. Or I say, you've done everything for me in life.
Wow. Her mom's. Wow. How do you feel, Sylvia, as the tears come?
No, like when my mom, when my mom just started living with me a year ago. I get my citizenship last year. I think this is going to be a year since I've been a citizen. And I decided I was financially supporting my mom in Jamaica. She was living in the house that I built for her. And I was sending her money every month. And I was taking care of her. And then one day I said to her, Mom, what about, you come and live with me? And she said, oh, well, I don't really love to live in America. I'm comfortable in my house. And her house is her pride and joy. Mm-hmm. And every time she cleans, she said, thank you, Lord, for Sylvia. Thank you, Lord. Every she eats, she thank. And I always said, listen, I feel bad because, my mom have a lot of kids. My mom have 9 kids. She has 7 boys and 2 girls. And I never want to be the favorite. I never wanted to stand out. And, but I was her main provider. So she's always calling my name. And I didn't really want any praise because I do it from a good place. And I didn't want any, award for it or anything. Because I do it because I'm able to. And I was.
But aren't you the block that the bill refused?
I wouldn't really say that.
Our brother was a favorite.
Our brother was a favorite first.
She was always saying,
Yes, our brother is a favorite.
So I decided she finally decided to come and live with me, and she came the end of February last year, and I put in for her to get her papers, and my mom got her green card in 3 months. Yes.
Wow, Mom crying. Oh wow, Mom. And Mom, you never think that this would bring you to a set in studio chatting with the stars.
The thing about it is my mom been traveling for over 20 years and she never stayed this long. She never wanted to live in the US and she's here now. She have worked hard all her life and now she sleeps till 10 o'clock. And my sister, my sister and my brother, they would think that she wake up at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, because that's how my mom used to be when we were living in Jamaica. And when I'm going to work, I have to be at work at 10. My mom would still be in the bed, and I said, "You a live lifey." Yes. But when I say that, I feel good. I feel good for her. So.
No, let me ask. This dream isn't completed. No. Mom, you got your green card. Did you go for an interview?
No, I didn't go for an interview. And when I get it, I didn't tell my friends them because I know they would say it's a lie, Mm-hmm. So true that I wouldn't tell them.
So you just got your green card in the mail?
Yes, I just got it.
Yeah, it showed up in the mail and it went in 3 months. And I just took her to get a Florida ID, and when I went to the driver's license place, the ID comes in the mail, and I'm going through the package, and I said, "Oh, you have a mail, you get your ID." I was so excited, and she really prayed about this because her grandson is sick in the hospital, and I had a brother that wasn't doing so well. So my mom been praying about it, and she really wanted to go to Jamaica. And God really answered her prayer. Because when the green card came, I thought it was her ID. And I look at it and I says, this is not right. I called my attorney and I said, my mom green card showed up in the mail. He said, what? He says, in my 18-year career, this is the second time this ever happened. So miracle. The blessing is just pouring down on us.
Amen. And now the house that you're building in Jamaica, you start off saying you're going to add what?
Well, The house started off as just a one room for my mom. It wasn't nothing that I really wanted, and now it become my dream. So now the one room turned into a 4-bedroom and a 2 veranda and a master room and car porch and everything. So right now,
back veranda as
and
well.
a back veranda. So I'm working on the house right now. It's a working process. I have guys working there to this day. So it's
This
the
is
dream
now
keep
your
growing.
vacation home.
Yeah, it'll be our vacation home.
Starting from just home LTA. What does a home
Yes.
LTA do? So they can so people can understand what is a home LTA.
Home health aid is, you take care of elderly people that can no longer take care of themselves. Some of them need more than some. Some just need companion, and you just oversee them. That make sure that they get their medication, and that's how it really started.
Tell us what this white man told you, that he has traveled the world. And no, because we want to understand that when you affect people's lives, because most of these people that you take care of, they are people who are established. They're millionaires. They've seen it all. And this man had something to say about you, what makes her the star that we want on Chat with the Star.
Yeah, I used to take care of this man. He was 99 years old, and then he's a businessman. He works for a company that provide the plastic for the phones, and he used to work for AT&T and those Bell South company back in the days. And this is a man that's been around so much people. And one day he looked at me and he said to me, "You're one of the most intelligent person that I have ever met." And I looked at him and I said, "Me?" And he said, "Yes, you." He said, "You're one of the most intelligent person that I've ever come across." And I was stunned because this is a millionaire. This is a man that have been in business meeting, everything, have lived almost 100 years, and can say that to me. And I was really honored, and I really appreciate it, and I will always remember him for that.
Today, if Sylvia drives just a little camera, you'd think that she would show it off. It's not about the bling after the break.
RHITV1 to the world!
We're the Youngs and we're from Jamaica. You're watching RHITV, the number one.
My name is Danielle Mitchell. I attend the St. Catherine High School in Jamaica, and I only watch RHRTV1.
Never let them get you down. Never let them see you frown. Never let them lead you astray. Starting today, live your life your way. I say, I'm returning to the strong when you're locked into RHRTV. Keep it locked every time I say that boom shot.
I'm crying for the people. Red Rat is crying for the people. Can someone give me a reason why this world is full of so much evil? Boom, well this is Red Rat, keep it locked. Read hard roots. At the boom. I'm crying.
So many people believe that to be a star you have to drive a certain car, you have to live a certain place, it has to be an outward show. Sylvia has proven to me what Chatting with the Stars is all about. You can have money and nobody knows. And she is a very humble person. Sylvia, you are now starting your modeling company. Tell us about that.
I'm starting a modeling.
No, don't, you have to say it because we are on time.
I'm starting a modeling company with my friend, because a lot of people have known me as Sexy Red on the party scene. And we decided that a lot of people have approached me. I have a very sexy friend, and I did a photo shoot for a website, and we decided that instead of having people taking our pictures and putting us in magazine and giving us $2 and $3 off a calendar, we decided we're going to take on our own venture and created our own company, our own modeling agency. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then
at least you tried.
At least we tried. So that's what
the name of the company?
We're still working on the name. We're still trying to get it to copyright.
This is pretty much something that's
it just came about last week from doing a photo shoot and just having a few conversations, and we're gonna go ahead and get it started, and then maybe next time I can come back when I'm really a billionaire.
I like that. Oh yes, we'll bring her back this time as Sylvia Lloyd, the billionaire. Yes. Mom, any closing? Motivate somebody before we close.
All I'm saying is hard work pays off in the end. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It's all about where you're going. And if you put God first, everything else will fall into place. Just work hard, perseveration, and keep your head up. And if something knocks you down, always get back up, because there's always a way. God closed one door, another door will open, and just always put God first, and that's what I always do. And everything is falling into place, and I give God thanks every day.
We don't need to say any more than, it's not how you start, but it's how you finish. Good night. I'm Jordan Love Black for Chatting with the Stars.